morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this, or indeed if you're watching this. So I think we had a groundbreaking nearly 200 watches on the last one, which is almost at breaking the internet kind of levels, I would say. Just before I do my third assembly in this in our lockdown period, I just want to say thank you to a few people. The first is obviously to Mr. Ryan for all of the work he's done on Google Classrooms. Please, if you're having any issues with Google Classrooms, can you contact the school at admin@elmgreen. We'll put all the addresses at the end of this assembly. And please, can you make sure you put it for the attention of Mr. Ryan so he can get back to you and make sure that your issue is resolved as quickly as possible. Second thing is just to thank the PPF, the Parents Promoters Foundation, who have started a campaign to rid us of digital poverty, so that some children have great internet access and some don't. And again, we'll put that page at the end of this assembly to make sure that if you haven't given and you have any opportunity or any kind of spare change down the back of the sofa that you can give to that you do so. Also, the PPF have also set up a kind of games and stationery drawer in, a desk in reception at the school. So if you are on your essential walk that day, then you can come in there and grab a board game or some stationery that you might not have had. Okay, so very quickly, I'm going to try and keep it quick this week. The last assembly we've had, and also I've been having lots of team meetings and kind of video conferences and things like that in my house. So there are a few people, not lots of people watched it, but a few people said to me, oh, it's nice to see you in your house. It's nice to show that you're kind of giving of yourself, or some of your house looks a bit weird, or you know, what's going on with your decor. So I kind of thought about what I was going to say this week, and I thought, hey, let's do a kind of through the keyhole style tour with it as well. So one thing I think which has been really interesting about this lockdown period is how anxious it's making people feel, and about how worried it's making people feel. And Mrs. Bergin said to me recently, she kind of said, why is it that everyone else seems to be coping with this really well, and why is it everybody else's kind of life looks so perfect? And I think that that's a really kind of key point for all of you, is that it isn't, okay? So everyone's life might look perfect, everyone might look like they're living in this kind of great, fantastic environment. You know, for adults, it's always like people posting things, oh, my child did 8 hours work today, and we did some crochet, and we did some knitting, and then we built a scale model of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and you're thinking, oh, for goodness sake, I can't get my child to do anything. And I think for children, it's that sense that people somewhere else are having this really good time that somehow you're not involved in, okay? And so a few people said, oh, your house looks nice. And I was thinking, yeah, well, we've got the kind of mix of Mr. Bergin's kind of modernist art kind of tastes here, and then Mrs. Bergin's kind of bit more kind of, I call it kind of French Renaissance meets Liberace kind of taste in terms of how we've thrown it together. Okay, so in fact, let's just have a little tour of the house. Okay, so you can see here, that obviously we've got some nice art there on the walls, fantastic. Obviously we're kind of both head teachers, so it's, we've got quite a nice house, not a brilliant house, but quite a nice house. We've got some nice art here. Oh, it's a lovely kitchen. Let's even go to the toilet. Okay, so just going to the toilet there. Oh, look, we've even got some lovely art in the toilet. What a fantastic house this must be. However, what is in fact important to say is that, everyone can give the presentation of having a fantastic life. Everyone can say, oh, look at my house, look at the very best bits of it, or look at my life, look at the most wonderful bits of it. But let's have a look, for instance, even at the toilet, okay? So we can see here that we've got a bit of damp on the walls there. We can see that even though we have had our house redone 3 years ago, that we still haven't, oh sorry, that's the wrong way around, that we still haven't taken the label off the toilet. We can see here, if we go into the kitchen, again after 3 years we haven't actually managed to fit a proper light fitting. We can see here that even though, oh, what a beautiful kitchen, it all looks very nice, that one of the drawers just comes off the cupboard like that. And I would suggest, like every single house in the country, what we do have, especially after a few weeks of lockdown is piles of things, just piles of books that have managed to kind of build up. So I think it's just really important to say that however fantastic somebody else's life looks or somebody else's existence looks, it is just that. It's essentially a veneer, a kind of cover, a sense of them trying to show that they're trying to do the best they can. Everybody is finding this lockdown difficult, okay? The idea of being away from your friends for so long, being away from school for so long is incredibly challenging. It really, really is, and we cannot suggest that it isn't. So please, when you see people who seem like they're doing better than you don't know that they're doing better than you. I would suggest that the same as you, they're putting on a really brave face, they're really trying to get on with it, but actually probably they're having just as much anxiety about being away from their friends, about being away from their school or their jobs, and being away from that great social interaction that humans love. And of course, just being worried and scared about COVID-19 and what it means and what it's going to mean in the future. So please, make sure, of course, that you're kind of keeping that veneer up and making sure that you are doing the best you can. That, of course, is really important. But also that underneath there are cracks in everyone, okay? In fact, there's probably some cracks in the ceiling if you can see it here. You know, none of us are perfect. All of us are struggling. All of us are showing our best, but all of us have deep anxiety underneath, okay? And at the end of this very short, very bizarre assembly, you're going to have some, young minds, the government links to mental health links, so that if you are having problems, if you're having problems in the house, if there is problems with the relationship with your parents, which of course is going to be the case at this time as well, that you've got some phone numbers and websites for that as well. So please, you're not alone. Everybody can show that they're doing a fantastic job and show that everything is perfect, but it's perfect for nobody and it's difficult for everybody. So thank you for listening, and I seriously suggest we'll be doing another one in a fortnight, because the government is giving us no indication that we're coming back before then. Okay, so hopefully if Miss Daniels, my fantastic PA, is up to the job, there's going to be lots of links now to websites and the links that I said at the start of the assembly as well. So I'll see you all in a couple of weeks.